All right, we're back for another edition of Live from Redhook here at the Function House, Tuesday night. This is how we do it every Tuesday night. And we want to welcome our special guest this week, Mr. DJ John Lutchman.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Mr. DJ John Lutchman.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Lutchman, is that your last name?
Yeah.
What is it? What kind of background is that?
I'm from Trinidad.
Oh, okay.
So it's I'm assuming it's from there, but I get a lot of different things about it, so I'm not really sure 100% where it's from, the like actual origin of it. But
It's a powerful last name, Lutchman.
So wait, so you were born in Trinidad?
no, I was born here.
You were
My
born
family,
here. Your family's from Trinidad.
I was raised in a Caribbean
So
house.
both your mom and dad are from Trinidad?
Just my mom.
Just your mom. Okay. All right, cool. So you came, you were born here in Brooklyn. What part of Brooklyn?
Flatbush.
Flatbush.
Yeah. Everybody else was growing up in Canarsie, and then we moved out into Flatbush.
So you must have a little reggae in you, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
Reggae and soca is like my bloodline. So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm from Flatbush. I was born in, I guess, Marine Park. It's borderline Flatbush over there.
yeah.
So you know how we do it here every week?
Tell us how you got into this business.
It was an accident, a very big one. I was 7 years old when I bought my first set of records. And it came because, like any other kid, you find something to do. A lot of kids are getting into baseball, sports, they're riding bikes around. Unfortunately, my family wasn't as wealthy to buy all those things for me. So it was like, I stayed in a house, tried to find things to do. Then, in school it was a little rough because of how I came up. And, bullying and all that played a big factor in that. So I had to find something to keep me occupied. Putting on headphones kept me very busy. Like, I blocked everything out. And then, as time went, I started to collect different things to make noise in my head. My mom said, "Why are you making all this noise in my house?" So
just playing loud music?
Yeah. And then having two
So
older...
music was your escape.
Yeah. It technically saved a lot of what could have happened.
So what records were you buying at 7 years old?
Michael Jackson records.
Michael Jackson.
I had a Mr. Vegas record. I had Head High. That was one of my first 5 records. And a TLC album was my next one.
So you bought Heads High, you were 7 years old. You must be, 21, 22 years old right now?
29.
Oh, wow. Still young.
Yeah, he's still a youngin'.
Yeah, I got more time in the game to keep beating it up, so I'm happy.
How long you been in the business?
Officially, first dollar, probably since I was 15. But it was always done.
Private party?
Yeah.
Teen party?
If you want to put it that way. Am I allowed to say that on camera? I don't know, but yeah.
Well, if you were a teen DJ, you'd play. My first party was a teen party.
College parties?
College parties.
I had 2 sisters in college.
So you were a teen doing college parties. Oh, go you.
Damn.
I was lucky. I had 2 older sisters, and they would always be hang out with my friends that are DJs, go see what they're doing, go look over them. And then eventually we did something at our house when my mom was away. And they were like, "Yo, let him get on."
Right.
They let me get on, and ever since they were like, "Yo, that's a joke, right? There's tapes playing under there. He's actually doing that." And my sisters were like, "Go look." And ever since, they kind of took me in and just kept going.
All right, so you bought your first records at 7 years old. When did you get equipment?
I was 14.
And what was it? What did you start working with?
7th grade, I was 13 or 14. And it was 2 of those Newmark Access 5 or something like that. But then it didn't last long. It lasted maybe 2 weeks. And then my house caught on fire.
Really?
Wow.
So we lost the whole apartment.
You lost all your records? Oh my God.
And then
So wait, take us through that. What was that like?
Talking to the mic.
Yeah, sorry. It was 2 weeks after Christmas. The Christmas tree was still up. And we had just got all that stuff, around that time. And it was, literally a pinch and a grab to get these things for us. So then when that happened, the Salvation Army gave us money and stuff, but it wasn't enough for me to go back and buy that stuff back. So that came to, a little halt. And that was, my thing. And
there was no GoFundMe back then?
No. There was no Facebook, none of that.
Wow.
And for me to say it publicly, that's where a lot of my aggression for the way I am comes from now. It's because people think I come from a money background where it's he has money to be buying all this equipment, or he has all this. I always have to make that statement that I come from a different background than everybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to finally get it back, it was thanks to my sister at the time, her boyfriend was a Jamaican DJ from Jamaica, so he had all these giant speakers in a basement and all that. And one day he made a joke saying, "You're gonna buy me new needles to my sister if your brother breaks mine." But then it turned out I would knew the equipment better than he did at a point, and he let me play on his stuff for a
He
little
hooked
bit.
it up.
Yeah, essentially he let me like
What's his name? Let's shout him out.
Donald. Thank you, Donald.
Big shout out to Donald.
So that's a
So that
huge
must have been
part.
devastating for you.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's that's what drives me now.
Yeah, it made you a stronger person.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well, equipment is one thing, but records, I mean,
you can't replace certain
Yeah.
things that
And then when Serato came out, you're like, I wasted all that time
man.
being upset about that.
yeah.
It you know what though, like the whole Serato thing was a bit of a big move because I started to collect records again when I could.
Yeah.
And with that, my buddy, and I have to shout him out because this kid did all he did for me. My buddy Darren used to go with me on the train with a shopping cart with records, a fan, and then the broken one turntable I did have. And we used to pull that back and forth from the city, back and forth, back and forth.
Wow.
And then we discovered Serato thanks to another DJ. So
Such a great feeling, right? Serato was like, wow.
man, my back, everything feels better now.
No, well, I think it was just an awesome feeling to know, like, wow, you're going to be able to just have all these tracks at your disposal.
Oh yeah.
At any given time, right?
Yeah.
That's what was awesome about it.
Literally, AM said it best. It's like having a third hand. Like, you don't have to like go grab it with the hand you don't have anymore.
Yeah.
It's all right there.
So who are some of the DJs that you look up to?
Not to leave anybody out. Being fair, let me say that first. If I had to name a couple, AM is obviously on the top of my list, like most guys. DJ Riz, as everybody knows. DJ Scissorhands is like family to me. Like, he's done so much to help me.
So you do stuff for Crooklyn Clan,
part,
right? Yeah.
I'm one of the editors over there at 12 Inch. And like that whole team, just they've built me up. Like Bone Shaker, you guys have here.
Yeah.
Like, that's like my brother. Like, I can only say thank you, like, so much.
Yeah.
But that's,
Buy them something.
there's nothing I could possibly buy him that will like suffice for what
I'm joking.
lessons I've learned. Like,
So you've been making some edits and throwing them up
Yeah.
on Crooklyn Clan. How's that working out for you guys?
doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm learning a lot, and like especially from the editors. Like, shout out to Starjack, #1 editor of all time over there. He's kind of taking me under his wing and like letting me like learn from him and see how things go, and just seeing how he works. It's like, it's ridiculous. Like,
And how often are you sort of working in the studio and
Every day.
making edits? Yeah.
it's a full-time job. Like, a lot of guys like, oh, it's probably spare time, like you do it here. No, it's full-time. Like, the moment I wake up, I'm to the coffee machine and to my desk. Like,
So are there any edits that you sort of hold in your pile and you don't sort of
I
put
always
them on
make
the
two
site?
of everything. No, like, I've learned that to stand out, you have to be able to sound different.
Yeah.
And even if I'm making stuff for DJs to sound different, I still have to sound different.
So how do you do that? Because it's hard, you know, with the competition that's out today and the music and
I don't worry about competition. I don't worry about what the next guy's doing. That's the mistake of every DJ in the world. Is watching what this guy's doing, watching what this guy. I don't have time for that. I'm busy doing my own thing. You think I'm busy watching what you're doing?
Exactly.
Like, I don't have time for that.
I say this all the time.
Yeah.
It's really like a common sense thing where you go, okay, I'm gonna sit here, see what he's doing. Let me study. There's no studying watching what somebody's doing every 5
Right.
seconds. Like, make mistakes, learn from that. That's where you learn your lesson. Like, I don't want to sit here and give preaching lessons to the camera.
But I mean, but you're 100% right. I mean, like, you shouldn't be watching people and copying what they're doing. But there are some OGs in the game
Of course, I'm
that
not
you
taking
want to
that
be
away, yeah.
watching because they're, you know, you're always going to be learning.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, if you're wasting time watching anyone, watch somebody.
somebody who you-
watch one of
Yeah.
the OGs
You
that
know.
you can
Right,
learn
of
from.
course.
Because you're going to learn, you know, you're going to constantly learn from guys like that.
That's what I'm saying. Put the time where it needs to go. Like, don't waste it. Like, don't sit there and sulk because someone's doing better than you, is what I mean. So if you want to say my competition, if I'm watching my competition, it's to see where they're at in the game. But then I have to feel like I have to par with them. But if I do that, that's where the mistakes come. So I'm not trying to say, like, you know, par with this guy, par with that guy. I'm saying don't worry about it and do your own thing. If you're going to, like you said, watch somebody who's already done it and learn from that.
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy concept. You got to get so good that they can't ignore you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's
And
like,
I'm still in that position.
you know,
like-
like that's it. You know,
Mhm.
when people see, you know, someone's talent, although, you know, it's so hard today with social media because you have to have like this whole other side of you, you know, not just your DJ talent.
How is your social media game?
I think this is my personal opinion. I think it's pretty good. I a lot of my content is on point. I learned that content is key.
Yes.
So as long as my content looks good, it keeps people looking. That's the important part. It went from 100 views to 1,000 views, just because the picture looks that much better. I put out like a video. I make sure it's like perfect. Everything that I put out is perfect. I don't put anything out half-ass. I'm allowed to curse. Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's the
Nothing.
internet.
I don't put anything out half-ass, and I'll get opinions from the OGs and be like, "Yo," I'll hit up Sis, and be like, "Hey man, can you look at this? What do you think of this?" I'll hit up
Like, yo, I think that looks good.
right. You said
He'll be brutally honest.
He tells you the
He'll be
truth.
brutally
No,
honest.
he
too.
will not hold his tongue. That's what I love about him. He will not hold his tongue. He will tell you, "Bro, revisit that."
John, it looks terrible.
They're mocking you, not me. Before I get a message in 2 seconds.
Yeah, but no, you know what? It's very important. You know, like you learn a lot when you get instant feedback from
Yep.
somebody, and when they don't sugarcoat it. Like you have to be able to accept that. You
Right.
know, a lot of the times people can't accept that criticism, but I think in order to grow and get better, you have to accept criticism from
truth.
people.
No,
you
it's-
know,
you have to accept the truth.
and you know, coming from a guy like Scissorhands, who's, you know, been very influential in the DJ game with the Crooklyn Clan and the site, you know, like he's probably somebody's word that you should respect, you know? So,
Not probably. I do. Like, there's a difference.
yeah. So that's good.
So you got some gigs coming up, right?
Yeah. This weekend, I'm in the city one more time before I leave for South by Southwest next week. I'll be playing Thursday at Shakespeare's for the first time. So that's my debut there. I have 2 other showcases to do in between there and Saturday. Then that Saturday, St. Patrick's Day, I'll be at Voodoo Room, which is another spot on 6th Street. So shout out to all my Austin buddies that are watching. Like, I love you guys down there.
And how did you get booked for that? Like, who took care of those bookings for you?
The DJs, they put the word in, and they were like, "Yo, this kid's dope," and they looked out for me. Like, it's literally finding the right people everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, you get with this agent or that agent. Like, literally, you find the right DJs to work with, and they'll if you're good people, they'll take care of you because you know they.
So you're not signed to any agency right now?
No, I work with an agency here in the city, the DM agency, who they've looked out for me pretty well here, out in Jersey and sometimes in the city. So I definitely shout out to them for helping me out.
And then you got something coming up in Asia, right?
Yeah, I'm going out to Japan with DJ Sankon. That's my dude. So he's another DJ helping me out there to go out there and.
That's good. So you like when he comes here, do you hook him up with stuff?
Oh
here?
yeah, definitely. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who help him out. He has a good network here. Like, so he knows a lot of people, and he just like is. I feel like it's one of those things. Like, once you meet good people, it just continues. It goes full circle.
And this is your first time going to Asia?
With them, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna.
So you've been there before?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the first time going there with him though. Like, so it should be dope.
That's
What's
good.
up, man?
Yeah.
It's good. 29, rocking.
I'm
Yeah,
trying,
so
bro.
you're right on the catapult of. So you got gigs coming up, you got edits on Crooklyn Clan, you got a good social media game. So you're working it, man. And I see you working hard. Like I see you on social media working hard.
Trying, bro.
You know, I mean that's what it's all about. The harder you work, people recognize that, and
Yeah.
good things come out of that. And you just got to stay positive.
Yeah.
You
Get
know.
rid of that Raiders hat.
That ain't gonna happen no time soon. This is Die Hard. I'm not switching. I don't care what anybody says.
So, what did you prepare anything for tonight?
A little something.
Yeah.
Little small something.
All right.
A little tiny bit.
All right, we're not going to waste no more time, all right? We're going to get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. And being that I have the opportunity to say thank you to everybody who is on here, like, in support. Thank you guys for everything, and big shout out to my Quiet Events family, who I know they're watching and going nuts because they're just good peoples.
Oh yeah, so we should talk about that. So you play the before we sign off to get you on the set. So you play at the Quiet Events.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that because I see a lot about that, and I've watched some of the video clips on there. So how'd you get into that, and what is it like DJing at a silent event party?
All right, I'll give you the very beginning. I walked into a gig I was supposed to do for host committee. That was a company at the time. And this dude, I'm not racist, but I'm going to say it as is. This white dude walks up to me and goes, "Here, you're going to put these on your head." What? He goes, "Yeah, you're going to battle a computer." I'm like, "Guy, what?" And then I go with the idea of it, and I'm like, "All right, cool." And I'm like, "This is pretty dope." And at the end of the night, he's like, "Hey, man, you were good. Like, let's try this again. Are you willing to?" And I said, "Yeah." And ever since then, they've kept me on board, and now I'm like, I am one of the lead DJs at the company.
So you have to play in your headphones?
Yeah.
That's not easy.
Yeah, that's
It's
not
not.
easy. So there's really no concept of queuing the other record on the other side, is there? Like, how do you queue?
Yes and no. Because of how technology has evolved, on the S9, you can actually queue in your headphones left and right.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay.
So the SX and the other controls that some of the other DJs use at the company, they do it the same way.
So you're
Yeah, but,
queuing in
you
one
know,
and the
you
master's
could-
coming out of the other?
You could mix without headphones.
No, I know,
nowadays.
because you're watching the WAV files,
Yeah.
but still. So
No,
you're
like-
queuing in one side and you're hearing master on the other side? Is that how it works?
I completely flip it, so I hear just the cue. Because the S9 lets you do that.
Okay.
So I do flip it all the way over to do
Okay. All right.
That sounds cool. I got to come check one of those out.
that. You guys are more than welcome. Like,
Yeah.
I want to
let
bring
me
my
know.
own headphones, though, man.
You can. Just
Yeah?
they do have an option for you to do that.
So what do they have, like these wireless boxes you plug
Yes,
into?
exactly
Oh, I
that.
have to grab some of your alcohol pads.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
we,
you see how much I
maybe we
want.
need to go quiet in the function house because sometimes it gets really loud. Yeah, we get complaints from the neighbors.
Let's do it. I'll hook it up.
John, thanks for coming down, bro.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having
man.
me.
We're going to take a
For real.
2-minute break. We're going to get John up on the turntables. Peace.
Peace.